best way possible. So from what was said, that Jerry Jones pretty much going to go over the 53-man roster situation here and who to cut and who we not going to cut and who's going to get cut and who's not going to get cut type of situation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to play the audio and we're going to get things going and rocking from here. Appreciate everybody for jumping in.
Well, I think so that I can remember, but I know, I really know I've had others that might have looked after we had some success and then lost some key guys. But that goes with the territory. There's a whole bunch of this thing that just has to, you have to see what you got. And who could have, ever seen guys like Pollard when Pollard first came in, or just any of these younger players. And we've got a lot of younger players. And so I understand that we lost some names, Collins, we certainly lost Cooper, but by the same token, and I mean this not overly positive, we can beat better teams, better in those areas. Some of the things that we had to sacrifice in some of those areas will make up for here.
Yeah, someone told me at training camp that under Mike McCarthy, he wanted to put even more of an emphasis on drafting and developing guys. I just think as a fan, the unknown scares me a little bit. When you have experience, it feels like a little bit more of a safety net. But you guys are willing to go ahead with some of these inexperienced players to make you contend, right?
Well, let me be real candid here.
Can y'all hear audio? Let me know if y'all can hear that audio. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. The name is Law Nation. That's LAW Nation. We talk Cowboys, sports talk, and beyond. Jerry Jones, speak out. So we're going to get things going. Yeah, the audio sound good. Yeah. I'm building the plane while it's in the air. My studio is under construction over there due to unforeseeable things. So right now, we rolling. Y'all rolling. Rolling with the nation, baby. Let's go.
We built our roster up, you might even say at a crescendo level last year. And we had a pretty good hand last year. And of course, unfortunately, we got Dak limited there fairly early. And then Zeke got a little limited. But we put a lot on the table last year, and there was no question relative to the investment in the roster that you were going to have to make some adjustments after last year in this year. We could see that coming. And so part of what you're seeing is the adjustment for having shoved it out there last year.
Jerry, how much different is Dak physically today?
I wish they would have pushed back a little bit when Jerry said we put a lot on the roster last season. Like, what do he mean? Can you give me more details of saying that you did everything possible last season to win it all? No. There were some people out there in free agency that we were banging on the table saying, hey, Cowboy Nation, why don't you go out there and grab him? Or why don't you go out there and grab that? So I wish they would have pushed back a little bit more on that that Jerry said that he put a lot into the roster. Let's listen to more what they had to say.
Than at this time last year, or how he finished off last season?
Well, he's in the best shape that I've ever seen. And he's fit. Not that he hasn't been fit, but he's actually, I think, does have less weight. But he's just in better shape. I think he's 2 years away from his that serious injury that he had. He's, of course, a full season away from getting his arm and getting his calf in better shape. He's down the road in those areas that we dealt with last year. So going in here now, he's as good a shape as I've ever seen him in, both from the standpoint of his different ailment or different issues, as well as just his overall health.
Jerry Jones with us here on 105 through the Fan, brought to you by Ford, built for Texas, built for you. Jerry, is it looking like the rookie Tyler Smith is going to be replacing
Listen
Tyler
up.
Smith at left tackle.
Listen up.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. We've got to get him out again and get him practiced here over the next couple of weeks. Relative to any issue he had with a little high ankle, but we don't think that's serious enough to limit his preparation. Now, what is the case is he hasn't been there at left tackle, and he is a rookie, but he's a first-round pick, and he deserved to be a first-round pick in my mind. And so,
Breaking news: the Cowboys just waived Mika Tufoya, a Tufa. Number 52. They just waived my guy, man. That's just breaking news. It just popped up on my screen there. Mika, number 52, just segueing right quick. 52, I think that he was wonderful. If anybody needs to be added to the practice squad, would be number 52, Mika. Met his people, real good people. And I can't wait to see the final cut so we can get this stuff out the way. All right, so with that being said, they better not waive Malik Davis, man. I want Malik Davis, baby. Yeah, Mika balled out, number 52. Number 52, I can see some promises with him. He was looking so good out there. I was like, man, who's 52? Because that's Connor Williams' old number, right? Shout out to you, Marco. Appreciate you. So I was like, man, I said, man, they done got somebody in 52 looking sharp out there on the defensive side of the ball. 52 belongs to a linebacker, in my opinion. It just kind of looked weird as an edge rusher, but neither here nor there. Shout out to Mika. Hope he lands on his feet.
we knew we just didn't want it to come any earlier than it needed, but we knew we had to get ready to replace our left tackle, and he was the pick.
So, Jerry, correct this thinking out loud that I'm about to do here. It looked like Tyler was not about to win the starting job over McGovern at left guard.
Woo.
And now he's going to play left tackle. That sounds scary. Help me out with that fear in terms of backup left guard to starting left tackle.
Well, that's not only the man up above knows whether or not.
That doggone Jerry boy, he can't lie, man. That's the thing. The problem is with Jerry, he can't lie. He can't lie. You know, he's like, well, only God can judge me now. You know, Jerry's my dude, man. That's my guy. As far as him not being able to give us a straight answer, the ooh, but only God can judge us now, is a situation that it's two folds. Now, put that butter knife down. Put that butter knife down. It's two folds to that situation. This is the two folds. Connor McGovern could just be good at left guard. Have you ever thought of that? You know, he wasn't like chopped liver playing right guard or center, even in college. He could just be just that good. Now, when we saw him with a spoonful of reps last season, and then he was put into the spot blindly for that left guard last season on the fly, then sure. That's just how it goes. He could just be that good. JT with the donation. Appreciate you. Dolphins cut Preston Williams. I think a lot of people were saying we should trade for him. So, hey, there you go. There you go. Coach Marv, Law, the more I watch film on Smith, I see God. Well, Coach, at this point, Coach Marv, appreciate you for jumping in. At this point, Coach, do you consider this being a mistake putting Tyler Smith at tackle then at this point? But let's listen to more of this audio, man.
He was going to win that spot or not. And to give Connor his due, he was doing a good job of competing in there. But now, when you look at the physical attributes of the comparison, then you readily see how Tyler Smith's going to be difficult to keep from a starting role at any spot.
Y'all heard that, right?
Jerry, you mentioned.
He said if you look at the physical attribute, capabilities that Tyler Smith possessed, it's going to be hard not to put him in any spot. Okay. Shout out to my guy, Coach Marv. There's a twofold to that too. If you see more guard, there's two types of tapes on Tyler Smith. One being pass protection, the other one being run pro, what have you, run blocking. In this particular draft, there were not any guy that graded out better than Tyler Smith at run protection, right? Or run blocking. That's a better way to say it. Run blocking. Yes or no? Can y'all put yes or no in the chat? In this particular draft, this past draft, shout out to you, Jameson. Yeah, not OTAs, I feel you. Right. So nobody out of this draft basically had a higher grade than Tyler Smith on run blocking. What we've been banging on the table for all off season is run the football. You know, I ain't gonna put the D in there, but run the football. We've been banging on the table, run the football, run the football, run the football. Well, there's your recipe right here. Sometimes things happen by chance. So now you got Tyler Smith, Connor McGovern. I just wish that they put Matt Forniak in at center. That would be a Maulers deal situation there. That the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, those linebackers, and I know that they got some good linebackers and big Vita Vea. But baby, all right, Cowboys have also waived, breaking news, Alex Lindstrom, he's gone, right? He's waived now. You know, that's the other breaking news. It just happened right now as we speak, developing news, right? My goal is for Tyler Smith to be better than Ty Nsekhe, for Tyler Smith to be better than Byron Bell, and for Tyler Smith to be better than Chaz Green. I think that he will be better than those guys in pass pro. I think that he already got a leg up as it relates to run protection or run blocking. So that would be the situation. Yeah, Jay Versick, I'm breaking news law now. I don't have all of my bells and whistles, but that's okay. We built the plane while it's in the air over here, baby. Let's go.
And there a second ago that when you guys drafted Tyler Smith, it was, you know, with in mind that, hey, this is going to be our future left tackle, that you were trying to get prepared, get ahead of the curve and plan for the future. How far in advance do you guys tend to look at replacing great players? What's your general approach for that? Is that usually something when it's right on your doorstep, or do you try and get out in front of that for a couple of years?
Well, that really is an inexact.
I get my cool shades right quick.
Really, and because you hope that players come along that exceed their expectation. A fourth rounder, a fifth rounder that all of a sudden can play. And so that's hard to count on that. But you can overtly pick your first round picks and your second round picks, and you expect those guys to play. And I think that basically we thought that when we used that first pick on Tyler.
Jerry, does this...
And again, you see, I didn't answer your question. I didn't expect him to come in and play.
I mean, that's what we all. Jerry's a billionaire for a reason. You saw how he skated, and he went all the way around the question, and he never gave him the answer to the question. You know, law. You know, but it is what it is. I truly believe that this team is still heading in the right path, because we talked about, hey, we want to run the ball. We talked about, hey, we want to get back to physicality. And I don't think of a world Whereas you look at Tyler Smith, who's pulling trucks or what have you, and you don't get back to being physical. Question, Law, what happened to the player if it doesn't work at tackle? What happened to the player if he doesn't work at tackle? Well, Coach Marv, at this point, you drafted him in the first round, and coaches got to make it work. You got physical size, 6'5", 330, 325-ish. You got to coach him up, and you have to live with your growing pains. And that's just how it goes. Coaches got to coach. You can't, like you said, Coach, you can't run from it. There is a situation where, like I said, that no other tackle in this previous draft was better than him at run blocking. So if it's a betting man, look, we have to look at Charles Cross's tape. We would have to look at Evan Neal's and those boys, Cowboys. Breaking news. Cowboys waived Ontario Drummond. He's out. They falling off they dropping like flies, though. Come on, man. My studio need to be live, baby. Come on, let's go.
I wouldn't expect the first round pick to be basically not playing in his first year.
Jerry Jones right here on Sean and RJ 105 through the Fan. Jerry, do you think that?
So that was the plan all along. Let me try to rewind a little bit. He said,
I really know I've had others that might have looked after we had some success and then lost some key guys. But that goes with the territory. There's a whole bunch of this thing that just who could have, ever seen guys like Pollard when Pollard first came in, or just any of these younger players. And we've got a lot of younger players. And so I understand that we lost some names, Collins. We certainly lost Cooper. But by the same token, and I mean this not overly positive, we can beat better teams, better in those areas. Some of the things that we had to sacrifice in some of those areas will make up for here.
Yeah, someone told me at training camp that under Mike McCarthy, he wanted to put even more of an emphasis on drafting and developing guys. I just think as a fan, the unknown scares me a little bit. When you have experience, it feels like a little bit more of a safety net. But you guys are willing to go ahead with some of these inexperienced players to make you contend, right?
Well, let me be real candid here. We built our roster up, you might even say at a crescendo level last year. And
I rewinded it a little bit, Cowboy Nation.
Good hand last year. And of course, unfortunately, we
Tyler Cole gone?
Limited there.
Shout out to you, Chris, for the donation.
And then Zeke got a little limited. But we put a lot on the table last year, and there was no question relative to the investment in the roster that you were going to have to make some adjustments after last year in this year. We could see that coming. And so part of what you're seeing is the adjustment for having shoved it out there last year.
Jerry, how much different is Dak physically today than at this time last year, or how he finished off last season?
Well, he's in the best shape that I've ever seen. And he's fit. Not that he hasn't been fit, but he's actually, I think, does have less weight. But he's just in better shape. I think he's 2 years away from his that serious injury that he had. He's, of course, a full season away from getting his arm and getting his calf in better shape. He's down the road in those areas that we dealt with last year. So going in here now, he's as good a shape as I've ever seen him in, both from the standpoint of his different ailment or different issues, as well as just his overall health.
Jerry Jones with us here on 105 through the Fan, brought to you by Ford, built for Texas, built for you. Jerry, is it looking like the rookie Tyler Smith is going to be replacing Tyron Smith at left tackle?
Yeah, I think that's safe to say We've got to get him out of here and get him practiced here over the next couple of weeks relative to any issue he had with a little high ankle. But we don't think that's serious enough to limit his preparation.
No doubt.
Now, what is the case is he hasn't been there at left tackle, and he is a rookie, but he's a first-round pick, and he deserved to be a first-round pick in my mind. And so we knew we just didn't want it to come any earlier than it needed, but we knew we had to get ready to replace our left tackle, and he was the pick.
So, Jerry, correct this thinking out loud that I'm about to do here. It looked like Tyler was not.
Breaking news.
For McGovern at left guard.
Brandon Smith has been released. God, dog, this is my dude right there, man. Can't keep him off.
And now he's going to play left tackle. That sounds scary. Help me out with that fear in terms of backup left guard to starting left tackle.
Well, that's not only the man up above knows whether or not he was going to win that spot or not.
No doubt.
And to give Connor his due, he was doing a good job of competing in there. But now, when you look at the physical attributes of the comparison, then you readily see how Tyler Smith's going to be difficult to keep from a starting role at any spot.
Jerry, you mentioned there a second ago that when you guys drafted Tyler Smith, it was, with in mind that, hey, this is going to be our future left tackle, that you were trying to get prepared, get ahead of the curve, and plan for the future. How far in advance do you guys tend to look at replacing great players? What's your general approach for that? Is that usually something when it's right on your doorstep, or do you try and get out in front of that for a couple of years?
Well, that really is an inexact.
First big domino to fall. Somebody was right. Who told me that Carlos Watkins may not even make the team, and he just got released. Carlos Watkins is now released, Cowboy Nation. So there goes to show you that these young bulls are pushing stuff around, and somebody, I got to eat crow on that because I said Carlos Watkins making the team. So whoever said that, he's not even going to make the team. So this could be a situation where we keep Ridgeway and Big Bo. It was you unseen. Appreciate you. I'm going to give you kudos to that, man. That let you know that this defensive front was good. I just got news that the outage in my area will be completed around 12. So we're going to finish this out. But I'm going to jump back live so I can read y'all. That was you, Coach Marv. I think that was you, Coach Marv. It was me and Coach Marv talked about it because we was talking. We were going back and forth. I remember me going back and forth over, do you keep Tristan Hill or Carlos Watkins? And you said that Tristan Hill is better than Carlos Watkins. I remember that conversation. So look, Law is not the dude that be sitting here saying that I'm right, I'm beating on my chest, and everybody else is wrong. So I was wrong on that. And this means a good thing because we got younger guys that's doing some stuff. So let's go. Let's play some more of this audio. I appreciate y'all, both of y'all.
Happening, really. And because you hope that players come along that exceed their expectations. A fourth rounder, a fifth rounder that all of a sudden can play. And so that's hard to count on that. But you can overtly pick your first round picks and your second round picks, and you expect those guys to play. And I think that basically we thought that when we used that first pick on Tyler.
Jerry, does this...
So what Jerry just said is that regardless of all the BS, with the BS to the side, Tyler Smith was going to play regardless. He's the first round draft pick. So y'all hear the philosophy. If I'm drafting a guy in the first round, he's playing. That's just the bottom line. And if not, we're gonna circle back, and then we're gonna go over this with our scouting department and fuss at people on why my first round draft pick is not being out there. So true evaluations of how they do their scouting reports right there. The Cowboys have waived Sean McEwen. That's another breaking news. So it's gonna go like this: 3 tight ends, because I know Sprinkles. You know how that goes with that leg or that foot or whatever going on. So we heard yesterday Stephen Jones say similar things about how he loved Peyton Hendershot and he loved Jake Ferguson. They're gonna go with 3. So they're gonna go with 3. McEwen, he showed me something last year, but McEwen, he got hurt, man. McEwen, my dude, man. Let's go, baby. Let's get it.
And again, you see, I didn't answer your question. I would expect him to come in and play. I wouldn't expect a first-round pick to be basically not playing in his first year.
Jerry Jones right here on Sean and RJ 105 through the Fan. Jerry, do you think that this changes the offense dramatically? Does it make you have to get the ball out a lot faster? Do you lean on the running game?
Lean on the running game. Say please. Say lean on the running game.
There to chip and block.
Lean on the running game.
Does this change a lot of Kellen's playbook?
Lean on the running game.
Well, I think that you have to look at where you are on any given week, not just by the overall season. And of course, you would look to, if you will,
lean up.
What you're dealing with in the first week to hopefully improving as time goes along. Then the other thing that I want to bring up right now is that we just assume that you look at the void, and that's fair as we open this season. But I expect to have Tyron back. And I expect to have him back right in the meat of it.
That boy Jerry want to squeeze it out, man. He ain't squeezing it out. He didn't say nothing about the passing. He didn't say nothing about leaning on the running game. Oh my gosh, man, Jerry is brilliant, baby. Brilliant. I said, man, the dude asked you a simplified question. With the hurt of your offensive line, do you see this offense trying to create situations that they got to get the ball out quicker, change up scheme, or lean on running game? That Jerry boy, he went all the way around. He ain't gonna answer this question. He went all the way around to say that we expected to get Tyron Smith back into the thick of it, baby. I can't wait, baby. I can't.
And anytime you can look to and see that kind of improvement coming after Thanksgiving, then we all have just lived last year to know when you want your best firepower to be your healthiest is as you go into those playoffs. So I'm one, and I'm founded to think that Tyron will be back, and he'll be back for the meat of the season.
The meat of it, baby.
Jerry, you've talked a lot about Zeke. We go as Zeke goes. The run game in the offseason, we're trying to figure out what the identity will be. Some people are like, hey.
You know what? It would have been dope. It would have been dope if the dude would have said, so Jerry, will you guys lean on running the ball more? I would have figured out a way on 105.3 The Fan to donate them about $300, man. If he would have just said, will you guys figure out a way to run the ball more? Kenyon Drake signs with the Ravens. Okay, yeah. Man, Jerry's brilliant. Cowboys Braylon Jones has been released too. Breaking news. I thought he was released during the preseason game. Braylon Jones is number 62, right? I thought that they was going to cut him mid-game, but that's a story of another day. Let's listen to more of what Jerry had to say.
Is this defense now better than the offense? What's your early feel on what the identity of the 2022 Dallas Cowboys could be?
Well, with our plan and our personnel, then we hope to be able to run that football more than we ran it, let's say, in the last few years.
He did it, baby! Y'all heard it? Yeah, baby. Yeah, he finally linked it out, baby.
And Zeke will be critical to that. But we'll also need to be able to run block.
You hear that, Coach Bob? Did you hear that? So if Tyron comes back, what do you do with your first round draft pick? Then if it was a starting, blah, blah, blah. Let me go back up. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Then if it was starting for the first round pick, he would have been a starting guard. BS. Come on, Coach Marv. You don't supposed to contradict. You don't supposed to contradict Jerry. Now, come on, Coach Marv. Come on. You know how it goes. Put it like this. I said in my last live stream that Jerry is the ultimate spin doctor. And there's always going to be positive. There's a positive. And people get mad at me, Coach Marv. Here's the positive. I said if we are winning, they're gonna say we're gonna roll with the hot hand. Boy, we struck gold with this Tyron Smith. And right now, we're gonna slowly process Tyron Smith out, right? But if we losing, Jerry will figure out a way to say, hey, all we need now is Tyron Smith to get in, to do some magic, and we'll get back to winning football because the Cowboys are such and such when Tyron Smith is on the center. All right, Isaac Taylor Stewart, Aaron Champlin, and all have been released. God dog, those are my boys, but you can't keep them all. Shout out to Aaron, man. He had a wonderful last game of the season, of preseason. Shout out to him. Law, do you have any truths to what you just said? Yes. You guys remember 2015. Tony Romo goes down. Jerry Jones said that Brandon Whedon throw the prettiest ball he ever get a chance to open his eyes up to see, right? And we went through a spell of multiple quarterbacks. You guys remember 2015, by the way. But Tony Romo had a chance and an opportunity to get back. And they said, hey, when Tony get back, we are still within reach of making the playoff. We started Tony Romo in the monsoon against the Miami Dolphins. I believe we won that game, by the way. And then we was kind of like, hey, Tony was running for his life in that game. I'm quite sure we still had Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, and then Tyron Smith in that game. But that's a story of another day. The next game, it was a real quick turnaround. It was a Thanksgiving game. And the Carolina Panthers was red hot. A third of us was like, hey, y'all may want to get Tony off of this one. But the Cowboys refused. And they put Tony Romo in that game. And all I can hear is playing the taps. Shoot, Tony Romo number 1 wide receiver was Luke Kuechly. Go look it up. He was Luke Kuechly. But they sold the storyline that Tony was going to come back and win it. All we needed to win was like 2 or 3 games. We was in the playoff that year, believe it or not, because the 2015 NFC East was just trashed that year anyway. The following year, the exact same situation happened. 2016, Tony Romo get injured, right? But this dude by the name of Rain Dakota Prescott came in as a rookie. Lost the first game. We was like, all right, hey, man, we can't wait for Tony to get back. Read the storyline. Cowboys have released Avante Collins. Oh, my goodness, Coach Marv, your boy is gone. All right, so to make a long story short, they said during that season, we're going to roll with the hot hand. Tony Romo is all healthy, ready to go. And they said, you know what? We're going to roll with the rookie. He's the hot hand. We made it, baby, to the playoffs. And then you know the rest of the history from there. So it's the same storyline over and over again. But I can tell you guys that with this situation, it's similar, but it's not the same. If anybody can make that make sense, y'all can really appreciate my content.
You should be able to run block. One block is more of a given than being able to protect. if you're dealing with inexperienced linemen. And so we should be able to run block. As to what we do offensively, we'll play that game by game as far as how quick we get the ball out or whether or not we're in play action. But still, we've got the guys, we have the players that can really play well in a play action kind of ball out quick offense for sure.
So Jerry did answer the man question. It was just like a long 2 or 3 essays after, thesis after. So he said, yes, they're going to try to get the ball out quickly. I don't want that, believe it or not, because I think that would change some of the schematics of this particular offense. I want this offense to still, if they want to be vertical, they can be that. Just run the ball. Run the ball to set up the pass. I think that you still have one of the better deep throwers of the balls. And on top of that, that is Dak Prescott, by the way, if you look at the stats or what have you. I think that really, if this team can still go back to ground and pound, that this situation will open up wonders for the quarterback and for the team in general, even the defense. Shout out to you, Tay. Appreciate you, Tay. Yeah, y'all hit that like button. Tell that like button to lean forward a little bit, just a little bit. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Jerry Jones here with his first show of the regular season, brought to you by Ford, built for Texas, built for you. Jerry, who have been some of the guys throughout training camp and these preseason games that you've really been impressed with? Maybe some sleepers out there that we should be paying some extra attention to.
Well, I'm going to go right to that center and that.
Hey, now we're going to figure out the truth, because this is pretty much before they made some cuts. So if he said that he liked somebody and they cut him, you know he's lying. But let's see what he said.
Defensive line, Tristan Hill has.
Oh my gosh, they waived Malik Davis. Baby, Malik Davis, my dude, man. They shouldn't have waived Malik Davis, man. God, dog, man, they crazy. If we want to get back to running the ball, I can think of thousands of plays you can do with Malik Davis. They better figure out a way. I better not see 40 to 50 passing attempts week 1. Baby, I'm telling y'all, they better not throw this ball all around. When you had a workhorse back like Malik Davis, Ezekiel Elliott. Matter of fact, no shade at all to Tony Pollard. I like Tony Pollard on the outside or what have you. But man, if you can give me 1-2 combinations with Ezekiel and then Malik Davis, don't put that butter knife down, and then you sprinkle in, still let Pollard do his outside stuff. Ooh, that would have been just gorilla nuts crazy, baby. Dang, man. So, let me put my thoughts together. Here's why I say this. This team is finesse. We don't have no fullback. We have, outside of Ezekiel Elliott, he's the only nasty back that we got. They put his nose in there. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, unless tomorrow or next week we go have some breaking news that we bring in a fullback. But this offense, from what I can see, is designed to be pass happy now. It's designed to be finesse, and there's nothing wrong with being finesse. You know, you get down there and then you alley hoop it. Yeah, Tyler Cole has been released. This from Michael Gelkin. We already talked about that one. Tyler Cole, my guy. So hope they bring those boys back to the practice squad. Let's see if they clear waivers.
Yep. A great team.
We finesse right now.
Come back with the kind of energy. He's always had the skills, the quick twitch that we wanted. And then Bohannon, that's big nose tackle in there. And I would say that But when you look at where we are inside, we're beefed up. And that's what we wanted, and that's what we got. And we needed those guys that I just mentioned to have good camps, and they have had. I really like what Sam Williams has shown. And he's everything you want when it comes to getting after, and if you will, being a force running the ball down. I think he's got Lawrence-type tenacity.
You gotta say long.
He's certainly got the skill, the speed to run across that field and really cover a lot of ground. So those guys come to my mind. We've never been in better shape at safety. We've never had better players. All told, we've had a player, or players, don't take anything away from Derek Woodson or Roy Williams, but in general, at the position, we've never been in better shape. And it's when you look at it, it's according to form. Hooker's supposed to have been good. We wanted to pick him. He got picked the sixth pick in the first round.
Right.
We wanted. And so these guys are playing to farm in many cases out there. So I like that. I like a couple of young corners that really stepped up and looked good. So I'm kind of really talking about the defense. Let's go over the offense.
Let's go.
And I'll tell you right now, we've got a quarterback that will get the guy that's open. And we've got some young receivers that go where they're supposed to go. And if it's open for them, they'll see the ball.
I don't know how Anthony Harris get released from the Eagles. Oh, well, Eagles must. I like Epps. I like the way he come down and hit on the Eagles, but they released Anthony Harris, who pretty much, if they did, then that's silly. But I think that Anthony Harris knows George Edwards and will fit right on in with the Cowboys, believe it or not. But that's a story of another day. I did hear that Quandre Mosley is visiting the Eagles. I think it's today. So they're going to run through some tests from him. I can tell you Quandre Mosley is a guy that stepped up. He's a 4.3 guy. He's really quick, long, raw a little bit. But I think that his position he was a cornerback going to safety in Kentucky, and they kept him at safety. And I think the Cowboys are looking at him as being a special teams guru guy. So Quandre Mosley is a real good situation for anybody if they have time to develop him. Let's listen to more what they have to say. But back to the other point, the Cowboys looks to be finesse on offense. Defense still going to be defense, though. I still like our defense. And when I say finesse on offense, meaning that we good if we play with the lead. You know, I really like that, but I don't think that we're going to be grimish to be a heavy run team, right? If you don't have that full, I think you still need a fullback. You still need that other nasty running back, those 1-2 pow punch. But we'll find out. I could be 1,000,000% wrong, right? Come on, let's go with it.
That's very important, to go where you're supposed to go. That means everything, because you're clearing out for some of the other guys if you are covered. We've got guys that are showing that kind of discipline, and that's what we wanted with our receiving core.
Jerry, we all freaked out when Washington got hurt, saying, go and get this guy. Why are the Cowboys shopping? Go out and spend. And then it sounded like we got an optimistic report from you about Michael Gallup. Where are you with Gallup, and how much of his return factored into not going out and getting another receiver besides Tobin?
Let's see what they say.
If this were the Super Bowl, Gallup would be lining up and playing. If against Tampa were the Super Bowl, he would be lining up and playing.
Jerry. I saw Michael Gallup just about 2 weeks ago. And if this was a Super Bowl, and if Gallup is rushing out there, we'll be playing the taps. A joker is going to come down and they're going to tackle him on the knees or what have you. And it's going to be hands on your knees, hands on your knees. Jerry, I love Gallup. I hate how you guys are handling Gallup. You are rushing this kid. He's not injured, he's recovering. And sometimes in a recovery aspect of it, a doctor would tell you, hey, be sure not to work out too much. Be sure to take your time. I feel good, doctors be saying, hey, man, be sure to take your time and don't rush it. Don't do anything extraneous or what have you, because it can reoccur. It needs to 100% recovery. Your best bet with Michael Gallup is to wait to full recovery time. Go back, look at his injury history. It's all on one side of his body. And I'm not saying this out of fear talk, but this is just me telling you guys that if you rush somebody, they will compensate, right? And they'll push off from another angle of their body. And then before you know it, it'll be something else that's lingering. Case in point, Dak Prescott last year. I'm not saying that he was rushing, but by him only sitting down to throw, it kind of messed up his shoulder, right? And by him trying to push off, we've seen some other things with the calf. You can't rush players. Case in point, let me see, huge Philly, get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, nickel. Oh man, that was a good. Y'all got Chauncey Gardner? Shoot, that's a grimish ass player right there. God dog, Philly. Shoot, that's my boy, man. Why y'all wouldn't got my boy, man? I hate y'all for that. I really do. Chauncey Gardner, man. Shoot, I hate y'all for that. That's a real British guy. They did that with Big Game James. Same BS. Yup, Coach Marv. Right? When you rush people, a third of the Cowboy Nation were high on Blake Jarwin. Everybody loved Blake Jarwin. Everybody was like, Blake Jarwin's the next Travis Kelce, for crying out loud. Blake Jarwin this, Blake Jarwin that, Blake Jarwin this, right? The moment he get hurt, a third, like y'all literally turned on Blake Jarwin just like that and said he's injury prone, he suck, he can't do this, he can't do that. Why? Because they rushed Blake Jarwin out there, and then other injuries occur with his hip because they rushed the man. So that's the problem. You can't rush Gallup. The moment you rush Gallup, a hip will happen, a back will happen slowly. If Denzel Mims is out there, go get Denzel. Hell, get Denzel Mims if he's available, or if it's another wide receiver. I think somebody said Preston Williams. Bring in another wide receiver, but don't rush Micah Gallup. Don't rush Michael Gallup. Yeah, Chauncey Gardner, he is a good guy. From the Saints, now he going over to the Eagles. My mom, I told you guys, my mom is a diehard Saints fan. You know how that goes growing up. And I got a brother that's a diehard Eagles fan, and y'all know how that is. And I got a brother that's a 49ers fan, so it's always straight fights in the house. But I can tell you one thing that I can tell you for sure, that it don't matter who the Eagles got as far as players. You don't have a defensive coordinator. You don't have a defensive coordinator.
And so we're going to be cautious, or not cautious, but conservative with him. He won't be out there more than likely against Tampa, but if it were the Super Bowl, he'd be playing. He's that ready.
Jerry Jones right here on 105.3 The Fan. Kind of a general football question for you. It seems like these players, Jerry, love these scrimmages against the other teams, maybe more so than some of these preseason games. Are we kind of turning a corner in the NFL with preseasons to where you can get more work done going up against the Broncos or going up against the Chargers than playing some of these actual games? How do you view it?
Yeah, I view it.
Well, we're going to have more games, regular season games, and less preseason games. We are now compared to a few years back, and that's possible in the future. But more more importantly, when you're working against another team, you have a control type situation. A veteran player, for instance, can get 60 snaps in a practice like that. Whereas if you went to a preseason game, he might get 12 snaps, 13 snaps, because you don't keep the veteran player in there through the entire fourth quarter. And so, yes, it is more work, and the kind of work that you need for that veteran player. Obviously, we don't want to leave it out there with a veteran player, a starter type. You don't want to leave that out there in August. You want to save it for December.
Jerry, it's roster cut down day. Obviously, I'm sure you guys are having meetings this morning and everything else. What positions are you having the most difficulty, I guess, right now trying to trim down?
Well, again, I don't want to give anything away, but we've pretty much made our decisions, and we're going to have more defensive players than we do offensive players by the most we've ever had. And so I'll tell you there where we think the hard calls were. So we'll have probably 3, 4, 5 defensive players more than we normally would have had or would have had if you made it even. So we're going a little heavier there on defense.
Jerry, how do you feel about the penalty topic coming off of last year? And I got to ask you, as a former football player, the age-old question: you put it more on the players or the coaches when it comes to penalty problems?
Oh, I think it's the player, and the player has to have that kind of discipline. He has to think like that. You just have to be conscious of what a penalty does to your team. And once you get that in your head and really get it in your head, then it'll start resulting in fewer penalties. So now, who is it that puts it in their head? Who is it that's constantly reminded? That's coaches. But you got to have accountability from anybody, whether it's, in this case, which it is, a football player, but all of us. At the end of the day, you're the one that's jumping offside, or you're the one that doesn't have the discipline. And so you got to have that.
Well, who picked the players? Jerry, that's as above, so below. And who picked the coaches? So the last time the Cowboys were ranked bottom half of penalties were when we had Bill Parcells. We were ranked 25th and 26th in penalties during the Bill Parcells administration. And we can literally say that Bill Parcells didn't get a lot of immense talent until the latter part of his coaching term here. It's not a surprise that Jason Garrett been here for 10 years collectively, 13 years collectively, and we were like middleways of one of the most penalized team. We've been still the most penalized team since 1996. Yes, Jason Garrett didn't have a high threshold of penalties. I'm not saying that we were a penalty magnet with Jason Garrett, but what I'm saying is that now, within the 2 years with Mike McCarthy, we've been ranked top in penalties, and it's right now looking like crazy for the Cowboys to continue to go down this pathway, leading the league in penalties, especially in preseason. I believe we average anywhere between 10 to 11 penalties a game. That's a lot of penalties, Cowboy Nation. And for us to average all of those penalties and still be respectfully top in the offense, that's crazy in itself. So at some point, Jerry, you're going to have to allow the coaches to put firm and stiffer penalties on the players that you covet. That's just how it goes. So if your star player gets a penalty, you got to release the cuffs on the coaches so that they can give some hard, stern coaching going about these guys. So that's my thoughts on it.
Several things you can't do and play in the NFL, and one of them is be somebody that doesn't have enough discipline in their thinking or have enough understanding of what the game is about to not have penalties. You've got to be aware of that.
Shout out
How
to you,
was Jerry
Sadiq.
Jones penalized for holding or false starts at Arkansas?
You know, we practiced, we led the nation 2 years in a row on special teams. We would practice with broom handles behind our back and our arm, the elbows of our arm, broom handles. And we would
Wow.
with broom handles.
That's an element of surprise, too. The Cowboys waived Rico Dowdle. What are we doing, baby? We literally got a running back core of Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. Unless they're, look, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get ready because we about to sign one of those guys back and I'm going to do a film breakdown on it, or we about to sign somebody that I don't know. And I can't wait to break out the film on that person, because if you guys think that this team is about to run, and technically, our only one running back, true running back, is Ezekiel Elliott. You trying to use Tony Pollard as a slot, wide receiver. So we got one running back. We got one running back basically, because we've been talking about using Tony Pollard as a wide receiver. So the Cowboys, boy, we've been talking about somebody reach out to West Coast and say, hey, yeah, you still thinking about running the ball? They must. My dog, West Coast boy, he been banging on the table. We've been banging on the table. Run the ball. All you got is Ezekiel Elliott, unless they're gonna give Tony Pollard 15 to 20 touches, and I doubt that's gonna happen, because they try to line him up as a slot wide receiver and things like that. So I can't wait, baby. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do. This day is becoming more and more entertaining, baby. It is very entertaining. Let's go.
We couldn't get our hands out so that you could hold. And so,
Cowboys also waived Josiah Bronson.
we hopped at a big hunk of it, and the first 25 minutes of our practices were special teams, while we were fresh and could really concentrate mentally on it. And we led the nation 2 years in a row, and I thought our special teams, it was the difference in what.
Oh, by the way, this is not me overreacting. This is me giving you guys entertainment, by the way. You know, as the process goes through, what I'm saying is that is still the philosophy. If you keep in Ezekiel Elliott, and he is your true main running back, that's all you have. You don't have a fullback. You literally don't have a fullback on this team. All right. So power slam. Who's your runner? Who's your lineup right now? Power slam. Who's your running back? Ezekiel Elliott. All right. So who's your backup back after that? That's football 101. You don't have a fullback unless they're gonna look at it like, all right, cool. We're gonna let Connor McGovern be our fullback. So if we try to run, then we just don't have those pieces right now. Cowboy Nation. So Rico is gone. Malik Davis is gone. I told you guys once before, Malik Davis is a more complete running back than Rico. He can block. He can catch better out of the backfield. Now Rico, he's good and bouncing to the edge. He is that guy that can crease off the side. I like Rico, but I love what Malik Davis brings to the table. Turpin is a little scat back. They better not. They better not.
But in the national championship. So special teams is very impactful in the outcome of the game. But make no mistake about it, you got to get out there and have your mind in the game and mind on where you can mess it all up.
Jerry, last two for you before we let you go. Is there a Cowboys narrative, a storyline that you think we need a reality check on, something that the fans should know, something we've been worried or concerned about, or something you just want to set straight from all the offseason talk during all this build-up on the home of the Cowboys? Is there one narrative out there that you think needs to be adjusted a little bit?
Yeah, I think that we did. We came up short, And I thought that we're in as good a shape to have an extended run in the playoffs at the end of last year.
Yeah.
And I don't want to dwell on it, but I do want to burn it in our minds. I do. And I want to make sure that we remember how bad it did feel. I'm talking about the team now and the people involved. How bad it felt to be out of games and didn't get closer or get into the Super Bowl. So I like that. Continually reminding that we need to not only get in the playoffs, but we need to get way deep into the playoffs so we got a chance. I think this team is reflecting that. I think it is a narrative of the team. I think it reflected in our decision making in the spring, who we kept, who we let go, and who we brought on. So that is the narrative. Get in a better spot to stay longer in the playoff.
And Jerry, finally, Steven sounded a little emotional yesterday. Troyman commented on it. Would you like to say anything about the loss of one of your former coaches in Ernie Zampese?
Well, Ernie, I'll never forget. One of my most vivid pictures of it, we would put our best players up on the board when we met with the coaches after the season was over. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the ones you would expect would be up there. And he'd have Aikman, and he would have not just him, but all coaches would contribute to this list. But Ernie walked in 2 or 3 years, and he would put Charles Haley about 8 inches above Aikman and right at the top of the list. And he would say, guys, I've been trying to block this guy since I was at San Diego, and he was over to San Francisco and in that area. But he said, this guy right here changes more offenses than anybody, more offensive coordinator, because he's that kind of player against offenses.
Wow.
But don't misunderstand the value of Charles Haley. He would. Here's your
Breaking news: Cowboys waive Wanye Thomas and Stephen. Cowboys appreciate you, man. He says, "Law man, keep up, keep doing some good work, man. Great work. Appreciate you so much, man. Appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much." Somebody said Eagles are getting better. Shout out to the Eagles, man. Look, I'm gonna give y'all, if y'all want a cookie, man, y'all want y'all flowers, here your flowers go. Here your flowers go. Shout out to the Eagles for being the off-season Super Bowl champs, baby. I mean, come on, let's give a round of applause to all the Eagles, man. Shout out to the Eagles, man. What we got here? You know, I am Groot. I am Groot. Eagles, I am Groot. You know, we got a whole little thing. I am Groot. I'm Thor. Yeah. But we are the Cowboys, and Groot have no chance at all against the double Thor powers. So here we go. All right, it is what it is, boy. We got toys over here. Kids got toys everywhere. But shout out to them. And she got a whole Crayola box over here, man. Yeah. For what Jerry said, collectively is the defense. They leaning on defense. The defense got more toys than ever. You know, speaking of toys, the defense got a lot of toys. They got a Groot over here. They got a Thor power over there. And they probably got a doll somewhere, man. So, and even got a little dancing doll here. What is this? This is Simba. You deliberately disobeyed me. But Dad, I wanted to be brave, son. You know, got all type of stuff over here. So we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. The Cowboys heading into the 2022 season, I think we are, and we're not going to wood, healthier than we were ever before. I think that the Cowboys, minus Michael Gallup, minus, of course, last year, Amari Cooper, minusing Lyle Collins, Connor Williams, I think, as far as this offensive line goes, we're gonna tell you about it. Yeah, got a whole bunch of toys in this corner. I guess this is their hitting play area over here in the corner. But I truly believe that this team is still the best team in the NFC East. I truly believe. I truly believe. And I probably, since we done got some more people jumping in the house, I probably need to start a Law Nation toy channels. Toys R Us. So Groot, how do you feel? Thor, by Odin's beard, I am the captain. Or by Law's beard, I am. He got Odin's power, baby. Thor, God of thunder, we will continue to be the best, right? Boy, oh boy. All right, man. Y'all, I appreciate you so much. Maybe go live again around about 1. Law of Toys for kids. Jay Versey. I'm gonna have to take that name and I'm gonna open up me a toy channel, and then I'm gonna get all the little fictional characters. I got an Ezekiel Elliott bobblehead. I got an Emmitt Smith bobblehead. I think I got a Troy Aikman bobblehead, and then we just have the toys over here. And then we'll recap the game. I'll get like a bobblehead of Tom Brady and a bobblehead of Dak Prescott, and it's the battle of the battles, right? Yeah, let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Some, and then coffee time. We do the coffee time. The group was too much. Oh my gosh, man. Cowboy Nation, this is cut day. This is what it's supposed to be about. The good news is that they got to wait 24 hours, and then there will be some other signings, some other releases. Don't think that just because you made it bypass this day that your name is safe. No. It may be, TA says, put the coffee down. Or is it Irish coffee? I'm just playing with you. This team is okay. I tell people all the time, let me see if I can get it right quick. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Y'all want to go encore? Let's listen to what Jerry had to say at the end, right? He said he wanted to be burned in the minds, right, of the players. I heard Dak Prescott the other day. Just listen.
And that's just a reflection. That's something that I never want to forget. I never want to forget that feeling. Never want to forget just the confidence that we had going into that game and knowing where we were as a team, and just to lose the game in such an odd way, unfortunate way. But you have to reflect on that to help you move forward.
What was your biggest takeaway from that loss?
Just the way that we started the game. I don't think we came out with enough.
Can y'all hear that? Let me rewind this a little bit. Can y'all hear that? This is Dak Prescott on his reflection on the last game that he played in. As far as the playoff game, can y'all hear that? And then we're going to wrap it up from there, okay? Y'all want me to go on? We can go do an encore. Shout out to the Verizon mobile iPhone battery. We still got some juices left. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's listen to what he had to say, and then we'll go.
Just the way that we started the game. I don't think we came out with enough energy, enough juice. They beat us in that aspect early, and it showed physically. Just paid out all the way throughout the game.
Was there like a mantra, a speech, or something that maybe someone said to kind of reset the tone?
Yeah, I remember Coach said in the locker room, remember this feeling. This feeling will help us when we move forward, and it hurts now, and it's going to hurt for a while, but allow that to be our motivation, our inspiration when we need it. When we need something just to keep us going, think about that and reflect, and we'll never forget that, and we'll be better because of it.
The Dallas Cowboys know they've got penalty issues.
He's flagged for pass interference.
Almost 300 penalties over the last 2 seasons since Mike McCarthy has taken over.
Last year, you guys were the most penalized team in the league. You piled some up this preseason. How do you guys shore that up?
Yeah, I mean, it's the discipline. It's controlling the little things that you can control, whether it be at practice, just taking a little bit more time, whether it be the cadence, whether it be the pre-snap, the emotions, or whether it just be giving the defense a good look. More than anything, you just got to stay focused, got to get rid of that first and foremost, and know that we can be a way better team if we get rid of these penalties.
And so y'all heard it from the horse's mouth, Dak Prescott. He said it's discipline. They got to get away from that. If you guys do me a huge favor, if you're watching right now, it's 440 people, man. The lifeblood of this channel, man, is the likes, man. If you guys can hit that like button, or if not, man, we can just keep it moving. You know, let me know if I'm doing a good job. Even if I'm doing a bad job, man, y'all hit that like button. Help a brother out, man. All right, let me see. Let me see if we can get it up to at least half of the people that's watching. Let's see. Cox and Brandon Graham just got younger. Shout out to you, my guy. Okay, good. I appreciate y'all, man. I thought y'all was trying to cut me. I thought y'all was trying to Malik Davis me. You know? I appreciate y'all giving me up to the halfway of that number there. Appreciate you guys.
The first 2 games of the season, I mean, you're facing 2 teams winning the last 2 Super Bowls.
Great job, Joe!
How much of a, I guess, benchmark for the rest of the season will those 2 games be?
These games will be great test for us. And starting off, I mean, just week 1 against Tampa and just the way that game played out last season.
We'll see y'all again.
Just being able to get that again and yet get in here at AT&T Stadium. I never want help. I always want it the hard way. So just starting off that way and then following that week with the defending AFC champions, I think it's a great test. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And those are 2 teams that have been at top of the league the last 2 years.
You look healthy. You look like maybe the best I've ever seen. This is the first time in your Cowboys career that you are not rehabbing an injury during training camp. How ahead of the game are you mentally and physically right now?
Yeah, I'm so ahead of the game. It's a blessing just to feel as healthy as I do, as confident as I do just in my body, just in the game, in every aspect of the game, mentally, physically, just taking steps each and every day with my teammates, with this young receiving core, getting chemistry together. I'm just leading this offense. That's fun, and I'm excited for this season.
So Prescott, I'm gonna save some of this for the next time I go live. We're gonna talk about this. I tell people all the time, man, this dude is hungry, he's determined. He did mention discipline. They got to keep that in mind. And he said how they started off in their last postseason game was the downfall of everything. So we'll find out what this team gonna look like. I can't wait to break down everything in Cowboy Nation. Write this down because I always leave with this saying. Let me know when y'all ready. Yes, indeed. If there's one thing a man should always do, mainly to himself be true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they bring makes sense to you. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone, because raised voices turns hearts into stone. You see, in the beginning, it was brother, I'll ride with brother, roll with brother, the morals of life, live, love, and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They would take a decent man to alter his heart, to seek to rip him apart. Those man, no man should call a friend, because they bend lies around the truth until it meets their end. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Do anybody know who this character is? I don't even know. Then they got a little button. They got the nay button. Who is this character right here? Y'all let me know who this person is. Who is this person? Who is this one, man? I don't know. The Green Goblin? Female Loki? Dog, you're right. That is her. I cannot believe it. It is her. Yep. All right, female Loki, man. Y'all some real ones, man. Shout out to the kids. One love, DC for life. We about, baby. Female. I didn't even look. The female Loki. The Cowboys released Brett Mahar on my way out. Oh, I can't believe it. No, I'm not supposed to die. threaten me hard.